Astrid hadn't noticed me get on the bus at all, which was both good and bad. Behind me, Josie Miller and Trish Greenstein were going over plans for some kind of animal rights demonstration. They were kind of hippie activists. I wouldn't really know them at all, except once in 6th grade I'd volunteered to go door to door with them campaigning for Cory Booker. We'd had a pretty fun time, actually, but now we didn't even say hi to each other. I don't know why. High school seemed to do that to people. The only person who acknowledged my arrival at all was Nico Mills. He leaned over and pointed to my shoe like, I'm too cool to talk. He just points. And I looked down and, of course, it was untied. I tied it, said thanks. But then I immediately put in my earbuds and focused on my mini-tab. I didn't have anything to say to Nico, and judging from his pointing at my shoe, he didn't have anything to say to me either. From what I'd heard, Nico lived in a cabin with his grandfather up in the foothills near Mount Hermon, and they hunted for their own food and had no electricity and used wild mushrooms for toilet paper, that kind of thing. People called Nico Brave Hunter Man, a nickname that fit him just right with his perfect posture, his thin, wiry frame, and his whole brown skin, brown eyes, brown hair combo. He carried himself with that kind of stiff pride you get when no one will talk to you. So I ignored Brave Hunter Man and tried to power up my mini-tab. It was dead, and that was really weird because I'd just grabbed it off the charging plate before I left the house. Then came this little tink, tink, tink sound. I took out my buds to hear better. The tinks were like rain, only metallic. And the tinks turned into tinks. And the tinks turned to Mr. Reed's screaming, "Holy Christ!" And suddenly the roof of the bus started denting. Bam! 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 And a cobweb crack spread over the windshield. With each bam, the windshield changed like a slideshow, growing more and more white as the cracks shot through the surface. I looked out the side window next to me. Hail in all different sizes from little to that can't be hail was pelting the street. Cars swerved all over the road. Mr. Reed, always a leadfoot, slammed on the gas instead of the brake, which is what the other cars seemed to be doing. Our bus hurtled through an intersection, over the median, and into the parking lot of our local Greenway superstore. It was fairly deserted because it was maybe 7:15 by this point. I turned around to look back in the bus toward Astrid, and everything went in slow motion and fast motion at the same time as our bus slid on the ice, swerving into a spin. We went faster and faster, and my stomach was in my mouth. My back was pressed to the window, like in some carnival ride, for maybe 3 seconds, and then we hit a lamppost, and there was a sick metallic shriek. I grabbed on the back of the seat in front of me, but then I was jumbling through the air. Other kids went flying too. There was no screaming, just grunts and impact sounds. I flew sideways but hit, somehow, the roof of the bus. Then I understood that our bus had turned onto its side. It was screaming along the asphalt on its side. It shuddered to a stop. The hail, which had merely been denting the hell out of our roof, started denting the hell out of us. Now that the bus was on its side, hail was hammering down through the row of windows above us. Some of my classmates were getting clobbered by the hail and the window glass that was raining down. I was lucky. A seat near me had come loose, and I pulled it over me. I had a little roof. The rocks of ice were all different sizes, some little round marbles and some big knotty lumps with gray parts and gravel stuck inside them. There were screams and shouts as everyone scrambled to get under any loose seats, or to stand up, pressed to the roof, which was now the wall. It sounded as if we were caught in a riptide of stones and rocks, crashing over and over. It felt like someone was beating the seat I was under with a baseball bat. I tilted my head down and looked out what was left of the windshield. Through the white spray outside, I saw that the grammar school bus, Alex's bus, was somehow still going. Mrs. Woolley hadn't skidded or lost control like Mr. Reed. Her bus was cutting through the parking lot, headed right for the main entrance to the Greenway. Mrs. Woolley's going to drive right into the building, I thought, and I knew that she would get those kids out of the hail. And she did. She smashed the bus right through the glass.